the wind and Midlands game, but not too much.
Yeah. No.
Nice.
Right, fellas, we've got no Brycey again. He's really just disappeared off the face of the earth. But Oz is back yet again, Mr. Consistent. We've managed to find a third party though. We've gone deep into the Stags and the Rugby Southland officers and pulled out Liam Howley, great friend of the Brains Trust. Liam, it's been a year or so, mate, but you're back. How does it feel to be back season 2?
Real good, third. I think it's my third, is it? Yeah, it is my third.
Probably.
The first one we got quite deep and personal, and then the second time took a bit of code. So we'll keep on that track too. It's good to be back, fellas.
Good to be back. What's been happening in your world, mate? You've obviously, for those people, I guess, who aren't in and around Southland, don't see you around every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. What have you been up to this year?
Well, personally, I've obviously, like you said, in the Southland, I'm deep in the Southland offices at the moment, in the dungeon where we are. But so doing a bit of RDO stuff, which has been really good. Bit of development for myself as well, which is nice. And then obviously HP training has been pretty full on, as well as club stuff. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the moment, we're pretty much locked in each night, as well as a gym on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So that stuff's sort of starting to come to an end, well, close to, before we start to assemble soon. So it's going good, mate. Just keeping busy enough.
Nice, you're a busy man. You still got a fiance after all those nights and mornings that away, or?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So deep into planning our wedding. We were supposed to get married in January, but COVID sort of hung around a bit longer than we expected. Well, not expected.
You won't be planning. You won't be planning fuck all of it, or you leave it.
Well, main part. I'm doing the flowers, so probably. I'm looking. I'm actually bloody good at it, to be fair. Right? Like, if you ask my fiance, if you ever see her, ask her about how good I am at planning. So, I'm taking a lot of pride in it. It'll be a good piss up.
Good man.
Nice work, mate. Oh, just quickly, you guess big weekend for you. Few minutes under the belt. Good to get into a bit of starting role conditioning for the business end of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. If you had a CB at Thursday training, you wouldn't have thought I'd get through 10 minutes. But luckily, the game was a bit slower than our team runs. Yeah, no, it was good. I actually enjoyed myself out there on Saturday. It was a pretty good contest. Unfortunate to not get the chockies, but no, I had a good time out there. It was good to be back playing in front of a big crowd. Moody's Cup Day, so it was good.
Yeah, good stuff. Rightio, we'll get straight into it. Plenty of good action across our third last week. Premier, Ex-Oper and Gerald Dermody. Some pretty interesting results and pretty even across the board as we get to the last 2 weeks. It's still, I guess, wide open in terms of the Galbraith Shield and the Gerald Dermody. The Ex-Oper 1-4 pretty much tied up, just a matter of where they finished. But we'll start in Galbraith Shield land. It was Star took on Blues. It was must win for Star Eyes. We talked about that last week. Do or die a wee bit for them, and they got the job done. 37-32. We're actually just watching a wee bit of the highlights before we came on, and fair to say, if you'd watched the Blues tries first, you would have thought Blues would have won in a canter, but then going through the Star tries, it was sort of one of those tit-for-tat sort of games.
Yeah, absolutely. You sort of hit the nail on the head there. It looked like, just from the brief footage I watched, that the Blues forward pack, especially at scrum time, was pretty dominant, and I think they scored one try directly from a tight head, a race off the back, and then pushed over again maybe about 5 minutes later. So, but to Star's credit, they scored some pretty well-constructed tries themselves. It always helps when you're playing on a sunny day out at the Les George. Like, it's a fucking easy track to play on. It's pretty conducive to good brand of rugby, and to have, 69 points scored in the game, that's a pretty fair that you can attribute that a lot to the Les George. So good win for Star, keeps their season alive. So those boys will be happy.
Yeah. Howley, you watched a bit of that on the portal, no doubt, this week. some pretty good tries scored from both teams. Star going to work with their pick and go play closer to the line.
Yeah. I caught a bit of it too, and probably same as what I said. I thought Blues had their set piece well, especially their scrum going back at a not a rate very quickly. So, but to be fair, Stars credit that they if they run in their scrum, their forward, like you said, their forwards are really muscled up. Got the job done for them around the field. There was a couple of nice tries scored. I said Koeman scored a really nice try. I thought Reese looked pretty good with ball in hand as well. Obviously, that try they scored off that scrum is just something that Reese can do and not many others can as well. So, I thought it was good game, lots of points scored. So,
yes. Star well and truly alive, just 1 point behind Blues now. So, Star got a big game against the Barbarians this week. I'm sure we'll get to that later on, but they've set themselves up with a pretty good shot of making that semi-finals. We'll go to the next game. It was out at the Gore Showgrounds, POB. They were looking to make it 9 on the trot against the Barbars. Barbars were in similar territory to Star, must win really for them, but it was POB too good. Seemed a bit of a battle at times in the first half, but POB, as they have done all season, pulling away in the last 20 minutes and 37-19, pretty comprehensive out the road, 5 points and another win. And I guess fair to say, fellas, Jay Thompson was the man of the moment.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he was very, and the POB seemed to be about the only team that can really probably put the Barbars team away. Most other teams sort of stay in that ball. They stay in the fight with most teams, but probably been pretty good in that sense as well. But I thought Jay was really good, off set piece and just off counter attack as well, and then just showing those wee touches that that separates Jay from the rest sometimes. So
I think the thing about Jay, he had a hand in pretty much every try that they scored, and a lot of it's just silky touches that, as Liam sort of alluded to, that not many guys in the province can actually do and not many people around can do. He just plays a different game at times. I thought one thing that Pirates Old Boys did really well was they counted really well from kicks. They got numbers behind the ball and actually opened them up that way. It was quite a stop-start game in terms of a lot of penalties from both sides. So it seemed like a hard game to get some fluidity in, but I thought for Barbars, Big Albert was unreal. I thought he was easily their best player. He's fucking busy.
Off the back of the scrum, he's very destructive, especially with that scrum going forward. So, I thought the same thing too.
His scrum was really good. And it was good to see Big Dan Keynes chew through 60 minutes. I think they had a bit of a bus trip back and he held the tour leader jersey for quite a fair bit of it. He was, we went out for a duck shoot on Sunday and he was sort of still under the weather. So, and
they stopped in at Wyndham Rugby Club, I heard too.
Did hear that? Yeah.
That's good stuff. I appreciate that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
I think him and Jimmy Sinclair would have been going at it, were they?
Yeah, I could imagine.
I was talking to someone out at Menzies today, and they said that they gave them a couple of crates on their way out just for a bit of a thank you for stopping in at the club. So it's good to see. We're in touch with our country clubs as well.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that a we're in touch?
Yes.
Yeah, well, how do you play for them?
We are a country club.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nice. Good save. Good save.
We're not been into our check cheering night.
Yeah, man. Right. Speaking of Woodlands, those mighty Woodlands, they had their club day. Took on the boys from Marist. Fair to say, Marist probably had the better of the first half, and then led probably most of the game until the 79th minute when Marty McKenzie popped over a 30-metre penalty to, again, I guess you call it defeat Marist in the last minutes. So 19-18, wasn't really too much in it. Liam, we'll start with you. It was a pretty tight tussle. Both teams defended pretty well. I guess just come down to a Marist ill discipline and Woodlands, I guess, taking their opportunities in the second half.
Yeah. I thought, to be fair, your first 40 minutes, I thought you were well on us, to be fair. And maybe if you could have finished a couple more of those opportunities, I'd say it would have been a bit harder for us to stay in that fight. But probably luckily we did stay in the fight. We showed a bit of ticker and kept it close enough for us to keep in the fight. So another Marty McKenzie penalty late at the death. It was a close game, and it just shows what the competition is at the moment, really, and anything on their day at the moment against anyone. So,
Eyes and obviously, Marist's perspective, pretty tough pill to swallow. Like Liam said, a pretty good first 40 minutes, apart from probably not scoring a couple more tries, but the second half was a bit, I guess, Woodlands ground their way back into it, and a bit of discipline probably costing Marist a bit towards the end.
Absolutely, and I think you both touched on it, the opportunities in the first half that we did ultimately convert, probably came to bite us in the end. We were that close a couple of times, but to Woodlands' credit, they just scrambled. I think we had an opportunity in the first half where Liam ended up in the sin bin. That was quite a pivotal moment in the game. He might have saved them some points there. So,
pretty sure I was onside.
Yeah, the ball was out baked.
What did I do?
Nothing. You slept down the ball. You said you wouldn't do that during the game either.
I think I was concussed, mate. I thought I was on the other team.
Now, just for those who got no visual there, Marist line break, Woodlands retreating, quick ball at the breakdown, Eyes goes to clear it, and wee hand comes in from the side. Fair to say Marist was going to score after.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my hand, it was Marty McKenzie's boot.
And just to add to that,
pay your pick.
The ref was about to send Marty off, and then Liam put his hand up and said, "No, it was actually me." So it was. I haven't seen that before in a footy field. To be fair, someone copy a yellow card. So.
Oh, can you imagine the spray? Can you imagine the spray I would have got if I said, "Yeah, it's him."
I didn't hear him spray you on Saturday, apart from at the end.
He got me once. He was actually quite painful. I think it was actually a big moment in terms of the game, to be fair, because when we went off, we were probably lucky we didn't concede some. Maybe you could have capitalised with one of our, I think they would have gone a long year's window. I actually said to Scotty the other day, I believe Eyes that changed the game a lot, to be fair, with Marist's game when taking Scotty into 9 and you off the field. So just my thoughts. I don't know if you're listening, Marty Smith, but just my thoughts, mate.
He's taking notes, mate. He's got the 1B8 out.
Yeah, nice.
Bullet points, good stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Rightio, we'll move on.
There was a bit of beef in the game too, wasn't there? A bit of beef. Did you like the beef?
Yeah, there was a bit in that game.
Stacey, I'm pretty sure Stacey Ellen, true or false, she was in the bin.
Physio running into the scrap.
All right, then, I'm a big fan of that. Save Andrew McIntosh wouldn't have done that, mate. He'd be out.
Not with Blake lingering around.
Rightio, we'll move on. We'll go to the ex-Soper because there were some very interesting results there, and none more so than down at Wyndham. The Wyndham boys took on Midlands. Fair to say, Wyndham, they'll be pretty happy. They would have been pretty happy on Saturday night when the POB lads called in. 17-13, a second loss consecutively for the Midlands boys. I guess, firstly, fellas, from a Midlands perspective, obviously they'll be very disappointed. They obviously came down from the Galbraith Shield or the Premier grade, dropping into that ex-Open, so to drop 2 on the trot, probably not ideal and not where they saw themselves heading across these 5 weeks. From a Wyndham perspective, keeps them well and truly in the hunt for a home semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of home semi-finals in ex-Open. I think we mentioned it previous weeks is pretty important. It's obviously, you get to play at your home ground. It's so to keep them in the sniff there. I think Midlands have come down and they've had a bit of a target on their back, I think, from coming down from Premier footy. All the teams are sort of line them up and want to have a real good crack at them. So it seems like they're probably getting most teams' best performances. So they're in for a hard game every week. So, I mean, good win for Wyndham. They have been sort of just sort of battling away a little bit lately. So to get a win at home, I think one of their players, might be Mitchell Tark, one of Jackson Wallace's mates from Scotland, played his 100. So those boys would have been up for it. And from talking to one of the Midlands boys, Michael Robinson had a pretty handy game for them. A fellow you two guys know reasonably well, good touch man. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam, you want to watch caught a bit of those highlights on the portal?
Yeah, I did. And probably carrying on from Eyes there, it looked like Michael Robinson had a really good game. And especially when he took the ball to the line, they looked really good with him doing that. So, yeah, been a bit of a tough start for the Midlands boys, but yeah, I think they'll have the same sort of thing as that when they go out there, every team wants to beat them, especially coming from the top grade. So most teams have a point to prove, and it's probably shown in the last week. But who they got last two games? They got Riversdale and
who's it? Sorry, Wyndham.
Midlands. Sorry.
Yeah, they still got Riversdale and
and Edendale to play.
Yeah. So hopefully, for their sake, they can chuck a few wins away before getting some momentum running into that semi-final time. But for Wyndham, obviously a massive win, and carrying on their good form getting into the semis.
Absolutely right. We'll head down to Tokanui. These two teams out of the running. Riversdale, Tokanui out of the running officially, but still plenty to play for. Tokanui had beaten Riversdale earlier in round one when they were in two pools, and they've done the job again, 17 points to 12. So continues a pretty successful season for the lads from the Nui, continuing their meteoric rise through the ranks of club rugby land. Predictable result, Eyes, or a bit of a surprise here?
I guess since I've already tipped them up once this season down there, it's probably not so much, and it just shows how far they've come in 2 years, essentially, from playing in the Dual Derby to competing week in, week out. They only lost to Midlands by 10 points, so and Edendale by 6. So with a bit of luck, they could have been threatening a top 4 spot. So regardless of what happens for the next 2 games, they can probably count this season as a real success.
Yeah. Liam, I guess flip that around to a Riversdale perspective. Probably a bit disappointing for them in terms of where they saw themselves heading at the start of the season, and obviously they're out of contention with 2 weeks to play.
Yeah. I'd say they would be feeling definitely that way as well, and probably expected a wee bit more from themselves. But I have no doubt in the next couple of weeks that it won't damage their performances, and they'll come out just as hot each week. So we'll see how that plays out.
Right, last game of Exoper, it was Waikeka taking on Edendale out at Waikeka. Waikeka looking to continue their good run in 2021, or their hot recent form. 41-11, they got the job done over an Edendale side that's probably starting to really feel the pinch of key guys being out injured. Bram Fodey, Devon McLeod, just to name a couple, and that's a big couple. So injuries really starting to play their part, key injuries affecting the Edendale lads as they push towards the semi-finals. Looks like they will be safe in terms of making the semi-finals, but maybe a bit of a stutter towards the finish line. Eyes for Edendale, but Waikeka rolling on nicely.
Yeah, I think it's a combination, obviously, of those injuries you mentioned, and Waikeka probably looking like the best team in that competition. By the way they've been travelling, they've only lost 1 game this year, and it was pretty early doors to Wyndham, I think. So, they're going to be a tough team to stop, and it's probably a bit of a preamble for their first. I'd imagine they'll play Edendale in that first semi-final. So unless Edendale get a few guys back for that first semi-final, it might be a result. Well, a similar result, maybe a bit different scoreline, but it might be a similar result, unfortunately, for Edendale.
Yeah. Liam, obviously you know a few of the lads in both teams, but Edendale probably, you take out Bram Fodey, you take out Devon McLeod, that's pretty tough going, especially against a good Waikeka side.
Yeah, I agree. They've been even a couple of names from each teams. It becomes a bit harder than this. But I'm all aboard the Waikeka train. I'm jumping on it, and I've been on it since Midlands. The night before they beat Midlands, I actually texted Ben McCurtain and told them they were losing. I predicted the future, so I'm jumping on the train, and I want everyone all aboard right now because they're going all the way.
All aboard the Waikika train. So if the
Jump on it, boys. Choo, choo.
Waikika guys might have a jersey to send down to you. You can wear it.
I'm pretty keen. I'll be out there. Yeah, I am.
Look,
I was talking to one Dirk Morrison the other week after the Midlands win, and been watching a bit of their footage, and I think they've got a good thing going on there at the moment.
Yeah.
Led by none other than Junior.
Yes. Jeez. Great man.
On and off the field.
Yeah.
He's dialed in, mate. He's seeing our messages and just the old 3 dots. He's just tuned in.
Yeah, he's performing for the lads, mate. He's giving the people what they want.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Right, what we'll do, fellas, since we've spun a few yarns here, is we'll just rip through the Gerald Dermody scores and then just have a bit of a brief yarn. Collegiate 32, Albion 31, so cliffhanger there at Linda's Farm Street. Mosburn, good win over Matoda, 29 points to 7. So that puts Mosburn in a pretty good position with 2 weeks to play before semis. And Pioneer continued their, I guess you call it, recent resurgence, 40 points to 28 over the boys from Bainfield Road, Waikiwi. So Waikiwi probably finding the going a wee bit difficult in the Gerald Dermody, fellas. It's shaping up pretty interestingly there now. Mosburn starting to, I know you'll be happy about this, Oz. Mosburn starting to chase Matoda. Matoda still leading on 19, Mosburn 18, Collegiate 13, Pioneer 12, Albion 9, and Waikiwi 6. So plenty to play for in the last 2 weeks.
It's shaping up pretty well, I think. It looks both teams perform really well at home. I know it's a fucking Captain Obvious statement, but whoever can get the home ground and finish first will definitely have the inside running for potentially a finals matchup. So Mosman would definitely be pushing in the this week coming to see if they can propel themselves into first. Those other 2 results are probably not too surprising. I think I picked Waikiwi just because I'm stiff on Waikiwi, but Pioneer at home at Newman Park, tough to beat.
Yeah. Liam, any thoughts on who you think is going to finish top of the pops? Obviously looking like Matoda or Mosburn are going to get the 1 and the 2 seeds. Who do you think is going to get those 3 and 4 spots? Boys from Linda's Farm Street?
Yeah, I'm not really too sure on that one. Sorry, Scotty, but
you're not done your research.
I know that.
Already, mate.
No, I haven't. Sorry, tuned in too much. I've been following Matoda a bit. I'm a big fan of the Matoda boys, so I've been following them a bit. But yeah. So I look forward to seeing the progress there. But I thought that's a big win from Mosburn over Matoda in the weekend. So maybe that maybe a bit of a mental gain going into the final couple of rounds. So
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
All to play for indeed. Right, we'll get straight into a bit of a preview because some big games coming up this weekend. We'll start where we just left off in the Gerald Dermody. It is Matoda at home, so a home game for back at home, taking on the boys from down the road, Pioneer. This could be a pretty interesting one. Pioneer started to find a wee bit of form in recent weeks, fellas, the last 2 weeks. They had a bit of a slide there, mid-season slide, if you call it that, but they seem to be back on the horse. Possibly a few guys back from injury. Can't confirm or deny that, but yeah, this could be a closer game than it might have seemed.
Yeah, I think
Matoda will win.
Yeah, I think.
You go on.
I think Matoda win, but 12 and under. I think Pioneer actually finding a bit of form in the last 2-3 weeks. So give me the unders, Matoda, but yeah, I think it'll be a fucking real good arm wrestle away. Couple of good dust ups too, potentially.
Yeah. I'm with the same there with eyes, and I'm with Matoda, so I'll be going 12 and under. Actually, I'll put my neck out here and I'll go 13 plus. I believe they'll get it done. They're at home. Is that right?
They are at home.
Yeah.
So I'm going 13 plus Matoda.
Oh, geez. I'm going to have to go Matoda unders, though. I think Matoda unders. Josh Hamill actually refereeing that one. Busy week for Josh. Actually refereed on Wednesday the Central Southern College Dunstan high school first 15 game, which was played out in Winton on Wednesday in pretty good conditions. Actually, as a side note, Dunstan getting the win 22-20, which was a good game of first 15 rugby. Two co-ed schools going at it.
Thought Josh refereed that game really well. From what we've seen, you controlled it. Well done, Joshy.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, we'll go to the Gore Showgrounds, the lovely Gore Showgrounds. Albion back at home, taking on Mosburn. Mosburn riding the wave, eyes. They'll be probably hot favourites for this one. Albion probably must-win territory for them. There's still a chance to make the 4, but they'll need to bank some points here.
Yeah, Mosburn need probably 5 points from this game to realistically give themselves a shot at hosting a home final, home semi and home final potentially down the road. So I'll take Mosburn overs. Albion, I can't really get a read on. They might score 4 tries in this game and let in a few. So, I'll take Mosburn overs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Mosburn overs as well. Liam, what do you got, mate?
Yeah, that's a threesome. That's us together. Right? That's a threesome. We'll be going overs with the Mozzie boys. Ryan Carter on a triple.
Yeah.
Running the cutter. Where's he playing these days? I know he's been
8.
playing.
I think he's playing 8.
Oh, he's back at 8.
Found his way back.
Good stuff. Right, last game, fellas. It's Waikiwi taking on Collegiate. Round 2 of the Northtown-Southtown derby. Round 1 honours went to Collegiate a couple of weeks back, but Waikiwi back on home turf. Collegiate having to cross the train tracks and head north up Lindisfarne Street, followed by, I'm guessing, Queen's Drive onto Bainfield Road. So, what do you think here, fellas?
For me, I love the Kiki boys, but great culture at the club. But I will pick Collegiate. I feel like they might just outmungle them a wee bit, and maybe a bit of what am I trying to say?
Too much heartiness.
Yeah, I feel like they might intimidate them a wee bit, and that's what I'm feeling. That might come down that way, and they'll get a bit aggressive. So I'll be going Collegiate 12 and under.
Nice.
I'm going to take the Kiki. I think they respond to that and deliver the best performance of the year.
They take the bull by the horns.
I think they do. They lost to them last time, and I don't think it's anyone's 300th game this time. So I think I hope they get across the line.
Hey, I'm gonna go Collegiate unders. I think big tight game though, but yeah, that speech will well and truly stir the Waikiwi boys up. I'm sure Kyle will have it playing on the Yui boom before they run out on Thursday night for a bit of a training session.
Don't get me wrong, I love the club.
You just don't give a chance this week.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Right, we'll go to the Hex Soper. Some big games coming up there. We'll start off in Winton, Centennial Park, Midlands, taking on Edendale. Not sure in terms of Edendale whether guys are back from injury or not, but if they're not, you would suggest Midlands be pretty good favourites to get back in the winning column.
Yeah, I think they would have had a pretty hard week of training. Midlands after losing 2 on the bounce. So I'm going to take them overs on that's on the back of Edendale not knowing, but I don't think they'll have guys returning from injury. So, I think when Midlands get back on the horse and do it in a wee bit of style this Saturday.
Yeah. Liam, what do you think here, Midlands, back on the horse?
Yeah, I think it'll just be a wee bit too hard for Edendale without a couple of their key boys. And obviously, back from two losses for Midlands, a big crucial part of their season. So, yeah, I'm going Midlands. I'll go 12 and under. I think they'll get it done. And Curriture will have a great day. Happy birthday, Ben.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ben. Friend of the Brains Trust. So, sure he'll be looking to ice the cake and the candles with a good performance in front of his home fans. We'll go to Wyndham. It's Wyndham taking on Tokanui. These guys had a pretty tight tussle out at Tokanui a few weeks back. So Tokanui making the trek up the road to take on Wyndham. Wyndham plenty to play for, though, Eyes. They'll be looking to put themselves into top 2 contention.
Yeah, though, I think Tokanui don't have anything to play for, but I don't think that really changes anything about how Tokanui played, to be perfectly honest. I think they'll just get up to Wyndham, rip in. It'll be pretty tight. They've got a fucking good forward pack from what I've seen in limited highlights. So I'll take Wyndham and I'll take them unders, but I think Tokanui will give them a real tilt up there.
Yeah, this would be the hardest one for me, I reckon. I'm going to go with Tokanui. I genuinely believe that they'll want to go up there, even though, like I said, they don't have too much to play for, but they'll want to go up there and put on a good performance. And the way that I've seen them play is that they are very motivated and got a good setup there. So I'm going to pick them 12 and unders. I'll go unders Tokanui.
Oh, Tokanui.
Yeah, the Nui.
Up the Nui. I think I'm going to have to go. Well, I couldn't go against the Wyndham boys at home, but I think definitely a 12 and under sort of game. Just notice here the kickoff time of 2 o'clock. I have to check if that's a typo or not, but I'm assuming it's correct. 2 o'clock kickoff, so maybe just be aware of that.
I reckon the way of the future.
2 o'clock kickoff. 1 o'clock would be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, get us one at 1:30 and
fucking buckled after the game.
There's plenty of benefits.
Yeah, 2 o'clock sounds good to me. Right, speaking of time shifts, Friday night, under lights at the Waikika Rugby Club. They're taking on Riversdale in a bit of a local derby. 7 o'clock kickoff if you're around the eastern Southland area. And this will be Waikika looking to cement themselves in that number 1 seed with 1 week to play Eyes. They'll be pretty hot favourites here.
Yeah, I think they'll win overs. I'm not minding that. I think Waikika just got lights like in the last year or so. So playing Friday night games is great. It frees up the weekend for all the fellas and the partners, obviously. But knowing the few of the Waikika boys, they do not mind pissing up. So these Friday night games will really lead in some big weekends. So they'll be really rating this.
And it'll rev them up. It'll be revving them up. They'll be thinking about it a lot. They get a good dub on a Friday night, and then they get the whole weekend of ripping.
Yeah. I think it's a great option, to be honest. So, they'll win. I think they'll win comfortably on Saturday.
Early kickoff and Friday
nights.
Right?
You've just revolutionised Southland rugby, fellas. Just in the space of 10 seconds.
One step at a time, mate. One step at a time.
We might have to go to a poll on that one. I know we haven't been too active on the Instagram lately. Fellas have been tied down with their day-to-day lives, but we'll see if we can get a wee story running. We poll going, maybe. Earlier kickoffs Friday night footy. See how it rates. Right, we'll move on to the Galbraith Shield. 3 crunch games coming up, particularly for 2 of the games at Reedy Park. They're going to be very crunch. We'll start with Star taking on the Barbarians at Centre Point, Reedy Park, Field 7. Star, all to play for. Barbarians not 100% out of the picture, fellas, but pretty hard for them to make the 4 from here. Could
you explain the situation, Scotty? What does it for Barbarians to
we'll lay it out. We've got currently POB on 24, so fair to say, fellas, they are home and hose as the one.
Fuck yeah.
After that, though, it is a lolly scramble. Woodlands on 15, Marist on 14. So I guess when you look at that, Marist and Woodlands probably a fair chance of being in the semi-finals, but still need to probably 1 to 2 points just to confirm themselves. Blues are on 10, so they're still well and truly in contention. And 4th spot, Star on 9, and Barbarians on 5. So Barbarians are probably going to have to win 2 and hopefully
another result
to go their way. Stars' destiny is probably in their own hands with Barbarians and Marist to play. Blues have got Marist this weekend and POB next weekend. So again, it's in their own hands. Possibly a slightly tougher schedule if POB lasts for them. Marist with Blues and Star to play. Woodlands with POB and the Barbarians to play. So pretty interesting, fellas. We'll start off at Star Barbars. Star probably, if you'd asked 2 weeks ago, we probably would have said Barbarians would have been favoured, but Star starting to get a bit of momentum.
You got to think, just on the back of that they're. I would say last weekend they probably had the same conversation for the game as if they lose, put themselves in a tough situation. So I'd say it'll be the same sort of conversation going on this week. You've got to think with the motivation of that they will probably get up, and I know knowing Barbars that they won't get up by much. So I'll pick them. I'll go 12 and under for Star.
Yeah, nice. What do you think?
I think on the back of what Liam said, it can be quite hard if you're like every week having to get yourself up and up and up in that situation. So I've got a actually funny feeling that Barbars might sneak this game. I'll take them 12 and under. I've just got a funny feeling that Barbars, they might be a little bit more, free this week.
I think
think
the shackles off, you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit, and just from what I've seen with their forwards, and if they can do it for a longer period of time and put themselves in a good position, they're going to be pretty hard to knock over, especially in the conditions that could potentially arise on Saturday. So I think Barbars unders for me.
Are you suggesting that they will not be picking game?
No, well, I think
they're running it from behind their own horns. Mate.
I'd love to see it.
It'll be interesting. I'm going to go Star unders, but I think, like I said, it would be good to see. I know a pretty close contest, and also said I think wouldn't surprise if the Barbarians did release the shackles this week and potentially tip Star up, but Star too much to play for. I think they know it's in their own hands, so we'll see what unfolds there. Right, we'll go to the Les George, a couple of 100 meters across, and it will be Marist taking on Blues. We talked about Blues being in that must-win position. Marist probably also in a must-win position in terms of needing to pick up at least 1 to 2 points to confirm their place. So both teams pretty desperate, Blues especially so. What do we think here, Liam? We'll go to the neutral.
Yeah, we'll go to me. That's fair. You both got a lot to play for, I suppose, and that will probably be talked about in both camps. But I'm gonna purely on one thing that I don't believe Aris is going to be playing. I'm going to believe that to look away a semi. So you boys will definitely get. I can feel the confidence vibing through the camera at the moment. So I'm going to pick his 12 and under. There's big smiles going on here. So,
that was more to do with your internet connection just completely disintegrating there, mate. So apologies to our 5 listeners if you've tuned out. That's fair enough. Liam sounds like he was on Mars in the rover. So if you did miss that, he has picked Marist 12 and under. So sure it'll be a tight contest nonetheless.
Tough out here in the Bronx, mate. Tough out here in the Bronx, eh?
Tell Roscoe to get some fibre, mate. That's just ridiculous.
He's on the tab, mate. He's on the tab.
Look, sounds like he's running the tab. He's got a data cap by the look of that. Right, we'll go to the last game. POB looking to make it 10 wins from 10 games, taking on the boys from Woodlands. They're searching for, I guess fair to say, they'll be searching to lock in that second spot. And I guess probably from a Woodlands perspective, Liam, you can give us a bit of insight, but I'm sure you guys would want to be the team that would break the drought, I guess, in terms of wins and losses for POB. Get them off the donut in terms of losses. Yeah,
it would be nice. But we understand the sort of rugby that they've been playing at the moment, and it's very confident, throwing the ball around a lot. And to be fair, week to week, they've put out very good performances, so we know what we're up against. And we're going to have to bet our best as well. So Fingers crossed that we can get it done. But we definitely know we're going to be in for a big day.
Just a question, Liam. Are you playing 9 or 15?
I have been relieved of my duties at 15. 4 weeks straight in the number 15 jersey. So I will be back at 9, which is
right.
Just another. Is it not true that Steg's coach Dale McLeod wanted to see you play in the 15 jersey? Is it with Josh Warby out? He wanted to see a bit more of you there.
Well, I'm pretty sure the message actually came from up the road at the Landers. I am a genuine optimist. It's good to be back in that. It's going to be good to be back in the jersey.
Who's the last 9-15 at professional ranks? Have we seen a 9-15?
What's that guy, Francois Hogarth, that he always played 9 wing?
He used to play on the wing, didn't he?
Wing.
I've got a bit of him about me, a bit of speed on the outside.
Both real quick.
Nice.
I couldn't think about it. I think just on that game, from watching, from playing Woodlands last week, and adding Cab back into their ranks, I think they'll fancy themselves up front. I'm not too sure where the game's being played. I don't think it's on I think it might be at Surrey Park. No, I don't know what the state of the track is. So I saw enough in that video to think that Woodlands will definitely give them a shot there. And I'm not too sure if they've got a addition to the midfield this week, Woodlands, but fuck, I'll pick a ball over. Why not? Fuck, who cares? I'll take Midlands. I mean, Woodlands.
Just one thing of note as well. I'm assuming that a Dan Cairns will be back in the front row. His battle with Joe Walsh will be one of interest. Joe Walsh not shy of a word, and dishing out pumpings and scrums. So Big Dan could be in for an interesting first 40 minutes.
Well, and on top of that Dale is obviously looking for props. So Dan will obviously fancy his chances.
This is honestly it for Big Dan. That's make or break, really. So I'm sure Joe will be looking to ruin the party for him in terms of stag selection opportunities. So
yeah, it'll be a good matchup. I think. Yeah, I think Woodlands are actually a chance this weekend. They'll obviously have to nullify their backs because they're playing fucking out of their skin. Jay in particular, Jay and Greg sort of dictate how they play. But I think it'll be a really good game.
It will be. Oh no, we'll see how that plays out. Right, fellas, that might do us. Howley, I think your data's about to run out in the Howley household, so we'll call it there. But been a pleasure to.
Can I just ask something advice, of the Brain Trust as a collective?
Yeah.
Can I please have like a MTV Cribs sort of thing on your new house, please?
Put that up on the gram.
Yeah, we'll do something on the gram.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Nice.
Thanks for coming on, Lam. It's always a pleasure to chew the fat and hear a few yarns. So good luck for the weekend, mate, and all the best for this upcoming Stag season. I know Stags hasn't been the easiest pre-season campaign in terms of guys going down, but hopefully, fingers crossed, Dale can get the strongest possible team out and feed the backs.
Yeah, correct. Thanks for having me on, fellas, and good luck for your weekend, though. Go well.
You too, man.
Go well.
Bloody good. All right, fellas. Cheers.
Yeah.